Hello, friends. My name is Amos Fon, and I want us to have some deep conversations on the next chapter. I want us to have deep conversations on the next chapter. The next chapter. Yes, the next chapter. So, in a series of about 12 videos that will be coming, I will discuss the next chapter. You remember in my previous videos, if you watch them, I said that life is like a book. Some chapters are good, some are happy, some are sad, some are exciting. But if you never turn a page, you will not know what is in the next chapter. I said you can't read the next chapter of your life. You can't turn to the next chapter if you continue reading the previous chapter. I also told you that if you do not like someone's story, write your own. But I said something more important, that if you do not like the story that you are telling with your life, you can rewrite it. If you do not like the story that you are telling with your life, you can rewrite it. The truth is, where you are now is the sum total of the story you've been telling yourself. And if you don't like it, rewrite it. Now, let me ask you, be very intentional and answer this to yourself. What story have you been telling yourself? Your financial story, is it good? Your relationship story, your personal development story, that is to say, are you exactly where you have always wanted to be? Have you developed until you are at your maximum potential? What about your spiritual life story? Is it impeccable? Is it exactly what you want it to be? What story have you been telling yourself? And I also told you, what about your career, your calling, your giving back story? Now, let me even ask you this question. How would you want to be remembered? When you check out of this life, because none of us are going to live from here alive, the day will come when people will assemble to pay the last respect, to discuss you. What will be the discussion on that day? So the story that you are writing is what will be discussed on that day. Now, above all, what do you want your legacy to be? What do you want your legacy to be? What do you want to leave behind that people will use to remember you? So, my dear friends, in my previous video, I have not done this, but since I'm going to do a series of 12 videos, about 12 videos, I will explain why. On the next chapter, I'm going to do a series of videos that will help us identify those programs that help people navigate their next chapter. I had called it mid-career life transition. I've called it the opportunity to get back into a university environment, interact with fellows, interact with professors, interact even with junior students, undergraduates, so that you rekindle the hope, you find your purpose, and see where you want to be in the next years that are coming. Of course. And probably to begin this discussion, because I'm going to share with you 12 institutions that help people navigate their next chapter. I will be with you in the journey if you are ready. The 12 institutions, 10 of them in the United States, 1 in Canada, and 1 in England. I will share with you this. But to begin this discussion about next chapter, I want to share with you something that was done by one of my professors. I will give you the name at the end. On the 22nd of September last year, I was given this book. Let me read it because you may not see exactly what is in it. Where will you be 5 years from today? Where will you be 5 years from today? Let me say that, assume we are in 2023 and we are in July. July 2024, 2025, 2026, 2027, 2028. Where will you be? It's not enough to say, well, I will be where I am. I will be on retirement. I will be. No. Where will you be? If you are not intentional about your life, life will create things for you that you may not want. And I want to read something that Professor Chris Stevens wrote in the book. Let me read it. And that's to tell you how somebody can be a spark in your life. This book was shared to all of us 20 fellows in the Inspired Leadership Initiative program at the University of Notre Dame. But I don't know how people valued or cherished it. I loved it because it was what I had always wanted to be doing. Let me read to you what was written in my book. Amos, so great to have you in the program. I so admire your persistence in being able to be here. Chris Stevens, sign. Admiring my persistence and so on is completely another story that we can take a whole video to discuss. But suffice for you to know that I, first of all, arrived in the United States on a wrong visa. And I had to go back to the US Embassy in Cameroon, and that was changed. I spent 1 hour at the embassy and the visa was changed and I came back. So doing a 24 hours flight, twice, 4 times, just to be in this program. That's just one. The challenges were enormous, but I persisted, and that is what life wants from you. If you want to make a radical change in your life to be what you've always wanted to be, you will need to be persistent. You will need to be disciplined. You will need to take the bull by the horns, as they say. So let me share with you a little bit about these programs. And like I said in the previous videos, I didn't insist on this, but since this is a series of videos that I will be doing, I will want you to do me a favor. I will want you first to like the videos. Then subscribe to this channel, subscribe to my channel, so that each video that comes up, you immediately get it. And above all, share. I've told you, when you come across a nice thing, share it. By the way, they talk about this thing, life coaches, consultants, and so on. You know what? I've never seen, except in some few cases, somebody who is a football coach or a soccer coach who did not play football or soccer, right? So I define a coach, a life coach, a coach in anything that, in my humble understanding, we are mere beggars who want to show other beggars where we found bread. In my case, I am a beggar who is trying to show other beggars where I found bread. And a beggar who has struggled and found bread can show you how to get yours. That's exactly what I want to do. And that's what I want to dig deep in these programs of life transition, mid-career transition, fellowships of people who want to change the direction of their lives. Probably they are experiencing burnout. They are not comfortable where they are, and they want to make a change. So let us begin. I'm going to do, as I said, about 12 videos following on this to talk to you about the Inspired Leadership Initiative Program, ILI, at the University of Notre Dame. I will talk to you about the Advanced Leadership Initiative at Harvard University. I will talk to you about the Advanced Leadership for Social Impact Program at Queen's University in Canada. I'm going to talk to you about the Leadership and Society Initiative, LSI, at the University of Chicago. I will talk to you about the Change Makers Fellows Program, which is at the University of Colorado in Denver. I'll talk about the TOA Fellows Program at the University of Texas. The Ignatian Legacy Fellows, Loyola University of Chicago. Actually, at Loyola, there are two programs. There are two different programs. And I'm going to give you details on how these programs work. I will talk to you about the Boston College Companion Program, the BCC Fellowship that is in Boston College in Massachusetts. I'm going to give you details as to that program. I will talk about the Next Horizons program, 6-month program, new, which is coming up at Oxford University in England. And I will talk to you about the Distinguished Careers Institute Fellowship, which takes place in Stanford. So within the next videos, I'm going to spend time talking to you about the programs, when they take place, the entry requirements, the fee, and the possibility for fellowships and scholarships. And please, as you listen to them, identify what makes sense to you and see how I can help you. But anyway, let me tell you something. As I was discussing with a friend, he said, well, as you take time and share these things with people, know that some people can take advantage of it and make their lives better. I said, yes. And so what? That's exactly what I want. I am not actually into any business. But if I call it business, it is business to improve on the livelihood of others. But guess what? What is the role of a midwife? What is the role of a midwife? I want you to take my videos, like them, subscribe to my channel, share my videos, and make comments so that I can improve on them. Stay strong, stay safe, and be a happy person while we navigate the next chapter of your life. It's not mine. For me, I've already taken the decision and I know where I'm going. I will need you to accompany me. And there is something about accompaniment. You can't accompany somebody without that person accompanying you. Have a wonderful day and see you in the very first video or the next video in which I will be discussing the Inspired Leadership Initiative Program at the University of Notre Dame. Of course, charity begins at home. Thank you very much.